Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now, let's start. External Affairs Minister Mr. S. Shankar proposed 8 guiding principles to repair the strained relationship with which country? So this country is our neighbor China. So first and foremost, it is about India and China relationship. Second thing is that this 8 guiding principles were proposed by our External Affairs Minister Mr. S. Shankar. Now recently China was also in news as it is the country with biggest current account surplus. Previously Germany was on this position. Now China is on top position. USA is the country with biggest current account deficit. China was also in news as it is the top destination for FDI. Previously, USA was on this position. In terms of current account surplus, previously Germany was on top position. Now China is on top position. China was also in news because of Uyghurs. Next question is, Chauri Chaura is a town located in which Indian state? So, it is in Uttar Pradesh, near Gorakhpur. Now, it was in news because this time, this incident, it was in news because of Chauri Chaura incident. Now, first thing first, please note that in certain media reports, it is shown that this Chauri Chaura incident took place on 5th of February. However, as per the official documents by the UP government, it is 4th of February. So please remember this. Now, on this day in 1922, there was a clash between British police and people of India. And this led to the violence. And because of this violence, Gandhiji decided to withdraw the non-cooperation movement on 12th of February. Now, next year, that means in 2022, this event will complete 100 years. And that is why it was in news because of centenary celebrations. Recently, Uttar Pradesh was also in news because of Republic Day tableau. So, in Republic Day parade, Uttar Pradesh presented the tableau of Ayodhya temple, and for this, it won the first prize. In case of departments and ministries, the tableau of DBT, that is Department of Biotechnology, won the award of best tableau. Next question is, what was INFAC T81, which was in news recently? So it was a naval craft and it served in Indian Navy for more than 20 years and it was useful in surveillance and search and rescue. It was commissioned in Indian Navy in 1999. Recently it was in news because it was decommissioned at Naval Dockyard in Mumbai. And this was built at Goa Shipyard Limited in collaboration with Israel manufacturer. Next question is, what is the full form of BNI, which was mentioned in the Economic Survey? So it is Bare Necessities Index, and it specifies the access to bare necessities like drinking water, sanitation, housing conditions. So this index lists 26 indicators on 5 dimensions. These are water, sanitation, housing, microenvironment and other facilities. So as per the recent survey, the access to bare necessities, that means access to these bare necessities, improved in all states if we compare 2012 and 2018. That means in 2018, the access to all these bare necessities increased in all states. And the states where the access to these necessities is highest are Kerala, Punjab, Haryana. So in these states, it is highest. That means people have access to these facilities. On the other hand, states like Odisha, Jharkhand are the worst performers. Odisha, Jharkhand, West Bengal and Tripura are the worst performers. Next question is NaBFID. The new bank which is proposed to be set up is to finance which sector? So this has been proposed to finance the infrastructure projects. What is NaBFID? It is National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. So a bill has been introduced in the budget session for this. So this will finance the infrastructure projects. Now if we talk about Parliament, there are 3 sessions, BMW, that is Budget, Monsoon and Winter Session. Now this developmental financial institution, that is DFI, will act as a principal institution for financing the infrastructure projects. First thing first, what is DFI? That is Development Financial Institution. It means this institution is going to finance the projects which may not be commercially viable. Suppose, in case of Arunachal Pradesh, we have to install mobile towers. Again, I am just giving you an example, oversimplified example. Now, Since in Arunachal Pradesh, the population is not that much. I'm talking about border areas. So in those areas, population is not that much. So companies may not be interested to install this mobile infrastructure in that area because they won't earn much. Now, government can use its own resources for such projects which may not be commercially viable, but which are very, very important for national interest, because that is important for our national safety and security. So such projects, such infrastructure projects can be financed with the help of this development financial institution. One interesting thing is that even ICICI was set up as DFI. Later, it was converted into a full-fledged bank. Next question is, which country is to introduce a bill to ban all private cryptocurrencies and to create a sovereign digital currency? So it will be done by our country, and this will be done by our central bank, Reserve Bank of India. Sovereign digital currency means currency which has been issued or approved by the government or the country. So in this context, a legislative framework is expected, and that is why it was in news. Now, RBI was also in news because of PIDF, that is Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. It was also in news because of DSIB, that is Domestic Systemically Important Banks. So 3 banks were given the status. One is SBI, another is ICICI, and third one is HDFC. RBI was also in news because of Automated Banknote Processing Center. So this is going to be in Jaipur. Jaipur is in Rajasthan. Recently, Rajasthan was in news because of M-Sand policy, that is manufactured sand policy. Next question is, which country has the highest share in global basmati rice trade? So India has the highest share. In fact, India has a contribution of 65% share in the global basmati trade. Why it was in news? Because both India and Pakistan are claiming GI tag for its basmati rice in European Union. However, the problem was that Pakistan had not given the status of GI tag to basmati rice in its own country. Recently, Pakistan gave this status of GI tag to the basmati rice in its own country, and that is why now both countries are competing in European Union for GI tag. GI stands for geographical indication. It means it is a sign on a product that shows its specific geographical origin. For example, Darjeeling tea. So it specifies that this tea is from Darjeeling, and therefore it possesses some unique qualities or some reputation. So this GI tag shows this unique quality. Darjeeling tea was the first product in our country that was given GI tag. GI tag is given for a period of 10 years and it can be renewed again. Please note that as of now, both countries, that means India and Pakistan, are exporting basmati rice to the European Union without a GI tag from it. What does that mean? It means in our countries we have given GI tag, but in European Union we do not have GI tag for this product. Next question is, as per the recent research, by what percentage the number of oceanic sharks and rays have declined in Indian Ocean? So recently a study was published in a journal Nature. As per this study, sharks and rays declined in Indian Ocean by 84.7%. Globally, the decline is by 71% since last 50 years. And most of these are mentioned in the list of IUCN. And most of these are mentioned in the red list of IUCN. That means out of 34 oceanic shark and ray species, 24 are classified as vulnerable, endangered or critically endangered. That means they are in threat. What is IUCN? It is International Union for Conservation of Nature, and it published a red list of species which are threatened. Next question is, which country recently commenced operations in its Hualong 1-unit nuclear reactor? So this country is China. Recently it started operations or commercial operations in its Hualong 1-unit, and this is a 3rd generation pressurized water nuclear reactor, and this is in Fujian province. Now recently China was also in news because of its another reactor, and it is HL2M tokamak reactor. So this reactor is so powerful that it is often called as artificial sun. Why it is called as artificial sun? Because it has the capability to produce enormous amount of energy, and this is a nuclear reactor of China. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover certain news events. So first is related to online shooting championship. So this was the first Asian online shooting championship. It was organized by Kuwait Shooting Federation, and in this federation event, India won the highest number of medals. The event was organized by Kuwait Shooting Federation and it was first Asian online shooting championship. Next is related to Neptune Declaration. So this Neptune Declaration is related to the welfare of seafarers. Who are seafarers? These are the people who are employed by the ship owner to do the ship service. Next is Mitra Scheme. So what is the full form of Mitra Scheme? It stands for Mega Investment Textiles Park. So if you know the full form, it is self-explanatory that it is related to textile sector. The objective is to make our textile industry globally competitive with the help of these textile parks. Next is special visa route for Hong Kong residents. So UK, that is United Kingdom, has proposed special visa route. That means now UK will provide special facilities to the residents of Hong Kong so that they get an opportunity to become the citizens of UK. Next is related to CPTPP. Actually, initially it was TPP, that is Trans-Pacific Partnership. Then US left it. Then the remaining countries signed this CPTPP. It stands for Comprehensive and Progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership. Recently, UK announced that it is going to join this partnership. Next is related to Hansen's disease. So Hansen's disease is the name of leprosy. And every year on last Sunday of January, this leprosy day is observed to spread awareness. However, in our country, it is observed on 30th of January on the death anniversary of Gandhiji. Now please note that as per WHO, that is World Health Organization, India has the highest number of new leprosy cases annually. Next is Bhavya Lal. So Bhavya Lal is Indo-American scientist. Recently, Bhavya Lal has been appointed by NASA as acting chief of staff. NASA is the space agency of USA. NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Next is Henry Moniz. So Henry Moniz has been appointed as the first chief compliance officer by the Facebook. Since he is the first such officer, therefore it is important from exam perspective. Next is Anish Shah. So he has been appointed as the new chairperson of Mahindra Finance. Next is Mr. Rama Mohan Rao. So he has been appointed as the MD and CEO of SBI Card. Next is related to World Test Championship. So the final of this championship will be played in Lord's Cricket Ground and it is in England. Next is related to BCCI. So BCCI announced that it is going to organize Vijay Hazare Trophy in place of Ranji Trophy this year. There's one more news related to cricket and it is Syed Mustaq Ali T20 Trophy. So Tamil Nadu won this trophy by beating Baroda. Recently, Tamil Nadu was also in news because of its new industrial policy. Next is World Wetlands Day. So every year on 2nd of February, this World Wetlands Day is observed. Theme of this year was wetlands and water. Now please note that on 2nd of February, we celebrate World Wetlands Day because on 2nd of February in 1971, the Ramsar Convention was signed. Ramsar Convention is related to wetland protection. And this time, it is very, very significant from exam perspective because this convention is completing its 50 years. Now, as of now, in our country, there are 42 Ramsar sites. The latest entry is Sokar Lake and it is in Ladakh. Next is Sandro Botticelli. So Sandro Botticelli was an Italian painter. Recently, he was in news because his rare portrait was sold for $92.2 million. And this is a portrait of young man holding a roundel. So the only thing that you need to remember is Sandro Botticelli is an Italian painter. So these were the most important events. Now in budget, there were certain terms: agriculture, infrastructure and development cess, vehicle scrapping policy, fiscal deficit, Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat Yojana, Poshan 2.0, Jal Jeevan Mission Urban Component, FRBM Act, Micro Irrigation Fund and Asset Monetization. So all these terms along with the summary and MCQ of this budget are discussed in a video and it is uploaded on Civils Academy channel. Even on GK Today, we have uploaded the budget summary. So you can cover it from either shows. Now test questions. So first question is the tableau of which state was adjudged best at the Republic Day parade. Second question is as per the NSO's revised estimates, what was the India's GDP growth rate for 2019-20? Third question is Sandro Botticelli was a famous painter of which country? Fourth question is which Indian personality started the Prabuddh Bharat Journal in 1896? Fifth question is who has been appointed as the new Chief Executive of National Health Authority. Sixth question is, as per India Justice Report, which state has employed most women in its police force? Seventh is, in place of Ranji Trophy, which tournament will be conducted this year by BCCI? Eighth question is, the cabinet of which state has recently cleared a new industrial policy and proposals over 52,000 crores? Ninth question is, which country has recently amended its citizenship laws to attract individuals with specialized skills? And 10th question is, which organization has released the framework for strengthening the grievance redressal mechanism in banking? Now, this 10th question is more of logical. If you know which entity is the regulator for banking sector, then you can easily answer it. So it is not a current affairs question, it is a conceptual question. Next question is, the Zuko Valley, which was in news, is located on which border? That means on the border of which two states of our country? Next question is, which application has been launched by the External Affairs Ministry to connect with Indian diaspora? And last question is, a well-preserved ice-age woolly rhino dated to the 20,000 years old has been found in which country? So these are total 13 questions, out of which these last three questions are from previous month current affairs, and these 10 questions were discussed in last 1 or 2 days. So if you are not able to score more than 60% marks, then you need to revise more frequently. Thank you, and that's all for the day.